Program Day. My name's Aubrey Ellis and I'm from Center Grove.
My name's Maddie Key and I go to Indian Creek High School.
My name's Emma Kale and I go to Greenwood Community.
My name's Kaya Streeble and I go to Edinburgh.
Some topics that we discussed during our September Program Day included self-promotion, lunch etiquette, the power of social media, interviewing skills, and resume building.
Some of the people that came to talk to us included Becky Canary with the Wildlife Task Force, Brent Lawler, who is on the LJC Board of Directors, Amanda Stevenson-Holmes, who is an instructor of strategic communication, and John Byrne, who is a community member.
So our first topic was self-promotion. You basically are your own brand. The way that you present yourself is the way that people are going to see you. And making sure that you step back to tell your own authentic story is the best way to self-promote yourself. Just make yourself look as good as you possibly can with your true way of life. Also brag about who you are. Don't diminish your own accomplishments. It doesn't make you look better. Just make sure that you're being your true self. We also learned that your digital footprint is a big thing in promoting yourself these days, that social media is the biggest way to get yourself out there, and it's one of the main ways that employers will see you. So make sure that you have a clear and good digital footprint that won't harm your reputation. How we apply those skills we learned for self-promotion, those apply to our future job and leadership programs, like we said. Anytime that you want to go for a leadership position at your job or at your school, you want to make sure that you're making yourself look good in the eyes of whoever you're trying to impress to get that job or position. It's also important for interviews to make sure that you're confident in making yourself look good and that you don't want to diminish your own accomplishments because that won't make them want to hire you. A big part of self-promotion is also setting yourself apart. So obviously you want to be true to yourself. Don't lie to anybody that you're trying to interview with, but make sure that you're setting yourself apart by making yourself look confident and proud of your own skills.
Alright, so during our September Program Day, we were told to dress in business casual as we were going to have a formal lunch. And during this formal lunch, we learned all the utensils and how they are used during a formal setting. We also learned how to excuse ourselves from the table, where our plates and utensils go after, and we also learned where to place everything after. So how do we apply that? This makes a better impression on future employers. It also shows professionalism, and it creates a better social standing.
The next thing we learned about was the power of social media. What we learned is that it has positive and negative effects on the younger generation. But you can also use it positively for whenever you're trying to apply for a job. But what you see on the internet, you don't always want to believe because people set themselves apart by lying about themselves and portraying themselves as something that they aren't. So how we apply this, you can create a professional profile to list your skills and all of your accomplishments for employers. You must be yourself on the internet because you want yourself to be apart from everyone else. But you don't want to make yourself something that you aren't. Don't believe everything that you see on the internet and compare yourself to what others are putting out there because you never know what's being told is true or if it's a lie.
So the next topic that we learned about was your interviewing skills, and this goes for a lot of places in life, like we said, either jobs or schools. So a big part about what we learned was that first impressions are everything, whether that can go from all the way from your physical appearance, the way that you dress when you first see them, all the way to how firm you shake their hand. So it's really important to make sure that you're practicing these skills and putting in a good, strong effort when you're going to an interview. Like we've said multiple times, never lie about what your skills are or what you can do physically in a job setting, because if they ask you to do that after you get hired and you can't, that doesn't make you look any better, but just make sure that you are strong and confident about the skills that you do have, because that'll set you apart from other people. And the way that you talk about yourself, this goes for all topics that we discuss, is just make sure that you talk about yourself confidently. Nobody wants to see you pity yourself. If you talk confidently about yourself, it'll make you look better. Applying this, you can practice interviewing skills with people before you go to an interview. You can do that either like in actual mock interviews or just making sure that you're speaking confidently and strongly to other people, making sure that you don't have a weak or diminished look about yourself in everyday life, and that'll go a long way. And make sure that you're also comfortable talking to others. A lot of people struggle with that, whether it's like big public speaking or just talking and like immersing yourself in a new group of friends. But getting comfortable talking to people within your community will help you a long way.
The last thing we talked about today, or on the September program day, was resume building, and some things that we learned were how to include skills that are specific to the job you're applying for. So it's important to look into the job that you're applying for and see kind of what they're looking for and characteristics that are important to them and employers, and to kind of gear them more towards that job. Also, using a simple template and a readable font, nothing super curly and bright. Also using strong professional language. You can use color, but you don't want anything that will distract from the information and the characteristics that they're looking for. And you also want to use concise descriptions with only key and relevant information. We can apply this with communicating who we are and what sets us apart from other possible employees. We also can use this to gain interviews for various jobs in the future. This also shows employers that we have the skills that they're looking for, and this can help us showcase our skills